On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Tony puts time into a few things, Cole uses his new bow to avoid bowing to the Cabal, and Ethan becomes a ninja robot master. We talk about the week's biggest news and answer your questions. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
Hello.
Are you prepped for the cold?
Sure.
We went out and bought tons of snacks and pop. I think there's like 12 bottles of pop over there. It's insane. Like, we're expecting to be stuck in the house for a couple of days.
If by prep you mean got that new Super Mario game, then no, I'm not prepped.
Oh, no, then you are not ready for...
well, not new, but new.
The snowpocalypse, yeah. With Mario out. I wasn't 100% sure I was going to be able to pick it up in time, but I did grab it. I played a little bit of it, but I haven't touched any of the new stuff, so I'm not going to talk about it this week.
Okay. I guess I could get a digital copy, but I mean, I paid for a physical version and pre-ordered back in September. I'm a little mad that they're like, oh, it's weather related. It's like, no, it really wasn't.
I was afraid I was going to have to resort to a digital copy, and one of the few things I buy physically anymore is first-party Nintendo stuff. But I did manage to find a copy here in Tulsa. The first store I went to sold out, so I had to look elsewhere. So I was worried for a little bit because I didn't want the digital copy, but I did end up finding it. And I'm playing through it co-op with my son right now, so going to enjoy that.
Awesome.
Also joining us this week, we got Cole.
We've made it to the Halo episode. It's 117.
Hey.
Hello. So, hopefully Master Chief will stop by or something.
That'd be nice. Of course, nobody will ever know because he doesn't say anything.
I just, you've never seen Master Chief and me in the same room at the same time.
That is true. I haven't. Are you guys expecting snowpocalypse where you're at this weekend?
Yeah, I think, well, I don't go to school, but schools are going to be closed. Work, we've already got text messages that we're going to get text messages on Monday, whether work's open or not. And then where I work, we probably won't get our medications in. I work at a pharmacy. So we probably won't get our medications in. And then everybody will be like, I need my meds. And we're like, sorry.
Sorry, we don't have them. Yeah, we had a meeting on Friday before we left. They're like, Tony, you come in 2 hours late because you're normally here 2 hours before everybody. So I'm going to give you 2 hours. Just inclement weather, even if the weather's not bad, don't show up till 8. Everybody will get text messages beforehand telling you whether or not the office is open. Because doctors' offices are one of the things that close after everything else. Because people will still go to the doctor even if the weather is bad.
Yeah, they will.
So, yeah. While we're prepping for snowpocalypse, I think they're saying between 14 and 20 inches of snow, which doesn't happen around here. So, we'll see what happens. But we may be stuck inside playing Mario for a couple of days around here. But before snowpocalypse, what were you playing, Cole?
So this week we had a new expansion come out for Destiny 2.
Okay.
It's not a new expansion per se. It's not a bunch of new content. It's just a new season. So we've hit season chosen. The Cabal Empress, a new leader, has showed up, and she offers her hand in peace to help take out the darkness, since the darkness is approaching. And all she requires is fealty. So all you must do is bow. And the always quiet, making sure everyone is appeased and whatever works out best for humanity, Zavala, he said no. And he sent out a tweet because someone had said what they thought Zavala should have said. And it's very not PG-13. It doesn't fit in with the teen rating. But it's very good. It's very great voice acting. And it would have fit in really well because no, we're not. We're
Would it
not.
would it have been like Samuel Jackson saying no?
Yeah, yeah. It was the equivalent
Awesome.
of Samuel L. Jackson going, I'm tired of this cabal on this plane. So,
It would have been
uh,
a different story if they just said, "Work with us. We'll leave y'all alone. Just help us when we need your help." But no, she's like, "Bow."
yeah, yeah. We'll get to a treaty. You just have to bow to us.
He
Like,
didn't even try to renegotiate the terms. He's just like, "Nah, we're done."
no, no. And then all the guns point at him, and he's like, "Okay, guns, let him leave." And so they've started this new proving ground, so that way they can, she can have new war leaders and stuff. And our plan is to go to these proving grounds since they're bound to these old rituals where anyone can challenge, and we go there and we defeat the champions. So it's a new hunt style activity that rewards new gear at a crappy drop rate for now.
Hmm.
Um, but it's a decent activity. It's got some playability, but it's mostly matchmaking. So when it comes to matchmaking in Destiny 2, it's not always very great. So it's definitely something that's more fun to do with friends and stuff like that. Um, but that's been taking up most of my week. The other things I've been doing is just playing the multiplayer on the Gears 5. Um, I haven't done any versus because everybody who's playing in versus right now is probably really good since it's like season 15.
The
But
downside of the
horde
game
mode,
being out for a while and a newcomer coming in, yeah.
yeah. But horde mode is always fun. It's just you versus the horde, so PVE with teammates. You can have up to 5 teammates. Uh, and I've played some characters that aren't Jack on the multiplayer. Although I've played Jack a few times on there too, and that's still pretty fun. Um, but yeah, new content for Destiny 2, so that'll occupy me for a little while I spend the time that I'm not doing that game playing other games.
Okay. All right. Well, what about you, Ethan?
Well, there's two things I want to talk about.
Okay.
We'll go with the video game first. Cyber Shadow.
That's a fantastic game.
Yeah, I decided it's probably time for me to beat that game and carry on. So I am really working through that. I got all the I got all like the little orb upgrades or something, I thought. And then I went and visited the Dragon Shrine and he's like, "Here, let's make these better." Spoiler. I have no idea what is happening on this game at all. I think I ran into like the actual person my character is supposed to be, but now that he's a robot, he's not that person anymore. I don't understand half the stuff happening on there. It's just, all right, we'll just keep carrying on with the mission, I guess. But it's really hard to not try to play that game like I'm playing The Messenger.
Yeah, it makes you want to play it with that, and it's a little different.
Yeah, I got that ability where you can run, or the sprint ability, I guess, double tap the direction. And I've been combining that with like the double jump, and I found out very quickly you attack midair and you just go dashing forward like with a quick attack, and you
Hmm.
can just chain together jumps and slashes. Like as long as there's something to hit, you just chain together. So it's like cloud stepping and rope dart comboing in the messenger. So I'm like halfway through a long zone, just never touching the ground before I realize, oh, I can't cloud step and I don't have a target here. And so I fall down into a death pit. That game is very forgiving and unforgiving at the same time.
Yeah, it is. It's not one of those games like the old Ninja Gaiden that feels just cheap when you die.
It's like you die quite cheaply, but you come back and it's like, all right, I'm right here already again. Let's do this.
Yeah, and you know what you did wrong. It's not like it's something that you can't really avoid, like an enemy that just spawns out of nowhere or anything like that.
Yeah, and I'm even at a point where I'm seeing like speedrunner tactics here and there as you would progress through the game. So it's I'm enjoying it. It's just I don't know what's happening anymore on here. It is really, really strange.
No.
But I'm really close to beating it. I'll probably have it beaten or beat it while I'm recording footage for the show. So that's probably what I'll be showing off. I don't know.
Okay.
And as for the other thing, it's your birthday, and we want
And
you
we
to.
want you to have fun. It's your birthday.
You've been playing clips on and off tonight of what I'm assuming is this movie that you're talking about.
Yeah, so Cole, me, Stuart, and Jason watched the Nicolas Cage Five Nights at Freddy's movie, Willy's Wonderland, yesterday, Friday, day of release. Uh, he, I've never heard him speak so little in a movie.
Yeah, usually, if you get someone like Nick Cage, you have him speak a lot of lines.
The I gotta
The
say,
bees!
he did not speak a single word in the movie. It was. I waited and waited the whole time. Like 15 minutes in, I'm tweeting. I was like, he hasn't said anything yet. And then after the movie's over, it's like, he really said nothing the entire movie.
There were so many times. There were so many times where it was like, oh man, when he finally says something, it's gonna be amazing. And then he didn't.
He had so many perfect opportunities to say stuff or to just throw out cheesy one-liners. In fact, the entire movie is like set up for like this cheesy 80s goodness, but it's modern day. And it doesn't happen with him, but it still kind of works. It's really weird.
Yes, I agree. The movie was really weird.
There's stuff explained, stuff not explained at all, and after you're done watching the movie, you have a really strong urge to drink punch caffeine soda and play pinball.
Yes.
So the question is the movie like a good Five Nights at Freddy's style movie?
If you wanted to take Five Nights at Freddy's as a very not serious topic, then it is. Then that's the movie.
I think that's the way you have to take Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Or do you play it super seriously?
No. Okay, Five Nights at Freddy's is supposed to be a horror game. You're supposed to have some fear. You're supposed to panic. Stuff's supposed to happen. This movie is the complete opposite. It's like, all right, dude's in there with the animatronics. They're walking. They start moving around. He's like, no, and they're like, we're gonna get you. And he's like, all right, well, and kills them.
Yep.
He fights back.
Okay.
And they really don't stand much of a chance.
He's not locked in here with him. They're locked in here with him.
Yeah, I saw that watching the trailer. That was like the big thing. I was like, you're not locked in with the animatronics. The animatronics are locked in with you.
Yeah. Oh man. And it just that movie, I don't think I can recommend seeing it if it's showing in theaters, but if it's like on demand or something where it's cheap enough and you can have friends over or whatever, by all means do that because that's probably the best way to watch it right now. But it definitely was a very budgeted movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think we might have to watch it again sometime.
Yeah, I want to see it, so we have to watch it at some point.
It was just crazy. I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, it was up there with Buckaroo Banzai.
Well, that was wonderful viewing, is what that was. I've never seen a better movie than Buckaroo Banzai.
Well, we'll need to have you see Willy's Wonderland. So yeah, that's it for me. What about you, Tony?
I haven't really been playing a ton of stuff this week. Mainly, I mean, I have, but it's been Dragon Quest every night. Still going through that.
I think you've been playing the real estate game, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been playing we're buying a house, and so a lot of my time goes towards, getting paperwork together for that and planning, how we're going to do things and where things are going to go and shopping for new things. Like I bought a couple of things for the new house now. So if something happens and the inspection goes badly and we don't get the house, I've just bought a lot of stuff.
I mean, that's not bad.
So
Just stuff you don't have anywhere to put, right?
well, exactly. One of the things about the new house is that I'm going to be able to finally, for the first time, have like a video game space that is specifically dedicated to that. It'll have all my consoles up. It'll have stuff on the walls. It'll be my recording space, and all that. So I've been buying some stuff to go in there. I bought a poster that is, or it's not really a poster. It's a framed artwork, but it's stacks of like Atari cartridges where you can see the labels, and it's just a bunch of different ones of those.
Awesome.
I bought a new puzzle today. That's a 500-piece puzzle that's got some Pokemon on it that I'm going to put together and frame that and hang it on the wall in there. So
it'll keep that together really well.
What?
Gorilla Glue spray I keep hearing about.
That's true. I'm sure that would hold it together quite well. But I'm going to have it properly. Once I put it together, I'm going to, get it all stuck together. And I'm going to properly frame it so it's in a nice frame. And then maybe you'll find some other things that can go on the walls. I don't know exactly how much wall space and stuff I'll have, and, especially once I get TVs set up and game consoles and all that. So,
see if we can get you a little mangle hanging from your ceiling.
That's horrifying.
So most of my video game time has been going towards my playthrough of Dragon Quest. But also I picked up the new Mario, not new Mario, but the port of, or the Switch release of Super Mario 3D World.
And Bowser's Fury.
So, but also, so I'm going through, I think this will be my third time playing through Super Mario 3D World. Second time I've bought the game, because I do have a copy of it on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized I have never actually bought a copy of Super Mario 3D Land. The one copy we had in the house is on my son's DS, and we got that through some giveaway that Nintendo had done. So I've never actually ever bought a copy of that and own that on a system for myself. So I grabbed a copy of Super Mario 3D Land and have been playing through that alongside playing through Super Mario 3D World.
Okay.
So, both of those games I absolutely loved the first time I played through them. I always thought 3D Land was good. I thought it was sort of them testing out how to bridge the 2D and 3D style games, because it's not really a 3D Mario game. It really is. I mean, even though you're in 3D space, it really is sort of an extension of the 2D Marios. And I thought that was like their beginner's level. We're trying to figure this out, and then Super Mario 3D World was them sort of figuring that out and then improving on everything that they did in Super Mario 3D Land. So, it's interesting to see the comparisons between the two games. But that's really it. That's all I've been playing. It's mostly just been Dragon Quest and then prepping for buying a new house. So
cool.
Aside from that, let's take a quick break, though. We will come back and we will talk about the news. On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Tony puts time into a few things. Cole uses his new bow to avoid bowing to the Cabal, and Ethan becomes a ninja robot. I really do not like the way I read that. Let's try this again.
Just as planned.
I felt like I was stumbling over all of that. I should read that sometimes before I start the show, because I don't always. All right.
If I sound different, it's because we switched microphones in the middle of that break. Ethan didn't like my voice previously, so we had to either hire a new version of me or just get a different microphone. So we went with the cheaper option, and that was just switching microphones.
Our lawyers advised us to say it that way. Truth may be different.
So, first up in the news, speaking of voice actors, Sonic was recently the voice actor was let go. But we have Sonic the Hedgehog movie news in that the movie has been confirmed and has an April of next year release date. Is that right?
That's what I heard.
So Ben Schwartz has not been recast as the voice of Sonic. He will still provide the voice of the character.
As far as we know, he's still providing the voice for
As of right
for
now.
the movie universe.
Yeah, he says he has not been talked to about voicing the character in the video games.
Sonic Prime on Netflix.
But that's just what the voice of Sonic would want you to say. Or want you to
Well, I
think.
mean, he's not doing anything on DuckTales right now because that got canceled. So
Yeah, that's done.
thanks, Disney.
So, yeah, and Parks and Rec is long canceled, so he's not doing anything there. So
Hey, they did one episode last year.
Yeah, that was not a good episode.
Well, his part in there was a little iffy, but yeah.
So, but yes, Sonic the Hedgehog. It's gonna miss Christmas, unfortunately. That's okay. We'll just have to wait a little bit longer. And of course, they teased the appearance of Tails again.
Mm-hmm.
It was a foregone conclusion that Tails was going to be in this movie, right? I mean,
well, anyone who saw the movie saw Tails already.
that's exactly what they were setting up for at the end of the first movie. So it's not like a surprise that hey, Tails is going to be here. So
this one's gonna have to end with Knuckles, and then we're gonna get that joke where it's Sonic 3 and Knuckles or something. So
that'd be okay.
or we get Sonic 3 and then the director's cut is Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
There you go. So what the movies need to do is just follow the timeline of the video games and make the names of the movies exactly what they are in the video game timeline.
So we're gonna get like Sonic 06 again.
Yes. And then some fans are going to come in. They're going to do a fan movie called Sonic Mania that everybody's going to love way more than an actual Sonic movie.
Dude, I would totally watch a Sonic Mania cartoon just based
Dude.
off the little cartoons they did for Mania, especially even the
Don't say it.
those little shorts they did late. Well, yeah, they did cartoons.
Oh, the
okay.
Sonic made that was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking just like the intro and outro thing, but I forgot they did
yeah.
like 6 little episodes.
I thought you were talking about Sonic Dreams.
No.
Like I would
More
have
likely-
loved for them to do a Sonic Mania cartoon in that art style.
Yeah.
That would have been great. But it's not happening, unfortunately. One thing that is happening, though, is console players of Halo might be able to compete with those on mouse and keyboard that they say get an unfair advantage soon.
Uh-oh.
Because this week, I think it's a test server or something like that, they are going to be adding keyboard and mouse support to the Master Chief Collection.
Oh.
For consoles. So you will soon be able to hook up, because I know some games already have it, but Halo never has, but they are going to be adding that this week. So if you prefer the mouse and keyboard control but you play on console, you'll be able to eventually use that as an option for playing the game.
Okay.
So
Time to break out the tablet.
let's see, some other things that they are talking about including are a field of view slider on Xbox One, as well as Series X and Series S if you are running 120 hertz display.
Okay, yeah.
That's supposed to be coming to Destiny 2 as well in 2021.
The field of view slider.
Yeah, we're supposed to be getting a field of view slider on console.
Nice. And they do say you need HDMI 2.1 ports. I think that's like a requirement to run 120 hertz on the consoles.
Yes.
So
I think that's also the HDMI port with like the blue interior thing.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Cool, I have that.
I might have to try out mouse and keyboard support because that's really for shooters. It's one of the few things I do like to mouse and keyboard over control. So for most games, a controller is perfectly fine, especially for like heavy action games. I don't want to be playing a brawler or anything like that, or like a Monster Hunter. I don't want to be clicking around with a mouse trying to do lots of attacks with mouse inputs. That just doesn't feel natural or normal to me.
It ruins the flow of your controls. Yeah.
But for shooters, it works really great. So that might be something I'd be interested in doing. We shall see.
Speaking of shooters,
Borderlands. That's a thing. I've played all of the games except for Borderlands 3. Claptrap has always been one of those characters that he is insane, like completely insane, but is part of the reason that those games, I feel, have been so well liked.
It's what makes his character, man.
A character's just off the wall, crazy, and there have been lots of moments of hilarity. I've enjoyed Claptrap. I'm not one of those people that is like a Claptrap hater, but with the upcoming Borderlands movie, we will not be getting the voice for the character that we are most familiar with because Claptrap has been recast.
For the movie.
For the movie, not for the games, just for the movie. And that
different
character,
robot with a voice?
well, maybe you could call him a robot. I don't know. Jack Black has been cast as the voice of Claptrap.
So weird.
So,
not that I hate Jack Black, and not that he's a bad actor. It's just we already have a voice for Claptrap. Why are we replacing him?
like, I love Jack Black. He's been in some really good movies that I like a lot. Like School of Rock is one of my favorite movies, and
That's all right.
part of it is because of his character. I love the stuff he does. There is definitely a place for a Jack Black style actor in movies, but some characters are so. I don't want to say Claptrap is iconic, but
Dude, he is iconic.
uh, there are so many characters that the voice and the character are inseparable, and I think Claptrap is one of those characters. Like a lot of the people in games or movies, you can switch the voice out. Big deal. I think Cate Blanchett as what's her name, the Siren character, who I cannot remember her name for some reason.
You're asking the wrong person.
I think that's fine. I think what?
I said Siren Sarah?
No, that's not it. But I think like that's a fine casting. I think it will not take away from the movie in any way. But I'm afraid with somebody like Claptrap being voiced by Jack Black, you're going to hear Jack Black more than you're going to hear Claptrap.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
And sometimes that works. Like Jim Carrey as the Grinch works because Jim Carrey just has a way of making that role work. Jim Carrey as Robotnik I was a little worried about because I was afraid we were going to see more Jim Carrey than we were going to see Robotnik. And that didn't really happen.
Okay, you know what? I think I may have figured this out. David Eddings voiced Claptrap in Borderlands 1 and 2.
Okay.
And
Is there a different voice actor for 3?
There's a different voice actor for Claptrap in 3.
Huh.
And I'm not saying I'm not. Oh wait, yeah, he also voiced. He did the voice for Borderlands 1, 2 pre-sequel and Tales from Borderlands. So, and Borderlands 3 has where's he at? Jim Ferranda.
I have no idea who that is.
They have him as Claptrap instead.
Okay. Well, Claptrap has already changed, and I didn't realize it. I haven't played 3 yet, though. So
I actually just got it on Steam, which there's a sale ending by the time the show's already out. So never mind.
yeah, like I own Borderlands 3, and I actually own Borderlands 3 on 2 different systems. So, but I haven't actually played it.
I need to finish Borderlands 2 and pre-sequel before I play 3.
So maybe playing through Borderlands 3 would completely change my opinion on recasting Claptrap. But initially, that's my thoughts, is that
It's like Dinklebot all over again. Peter Dinklage gets replaced by Nolan North,
Yeah.
and everyone's mad. But then it's like, okay, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah. And go ahead.
No, I mean, Nolan North Nolan North does a good job of Ghost. It's not the same Phil or anything, but he also did a decent Cade for that last little bit.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's like an all-rounder voice actor. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they throw him into. They're like, hey, we got a couple lines for this person. Can you do it?
Okay, we need you to voice this mom character because we can't bring her back because of reasons. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. It's like, perfect. Thanks, Nolan.
There are some actors who are like that. Like Jim Cummings is a voice actor. You know, everybody knows Jim Cummings. You've heard his voice in lots of things. And he actually will go in and do voices for like famous people if, you know, they need to do some reshoots or something. He's really good at mimicking the voice of other people. Like the most famous one that I know of is he did the voice for Scar at the end of at the end of the Be Prepared song in The Lion King, and I don't think anybody noticed it wasn't Jeremy Irons singing, unless you know Jim Cummings' voice, then you can hear it. But
well, it's like you get this a lot with like the Dragon Ball games where the voice actors come in and like you don't have all the voice actors. You have like half the cast, and some of those guys are voicing the other characters just because that's what they've been asked to do at that point. Then you go back to the show and they're voicing their original people all over again.
And then like
Skyrim, same voice.
Yeah.
Well, like I remember playing Battle for Bikini Bottom on the Xbox, you know, fairly recently, and every single voice actor from the show is in the game except for Mr. Krabs, and you can tell. It's not Clancy Brown's voice, and you can tell it does not sound right.
SpongeBob, me boy. Mr. Krabs.
So, like, I'm more than willing to be like, maybe Jack Black will be a great Claptrap. He could come in and just is perfect for the role, and it'll be fine.
Or maybe he would be an amazing Mr. Krabs.
He could be like that. That's we should have him do some Mr. Krabs lines and see if he can pull it off. So, moving on from that though, Playtonic this week. A few weeks ago, they announced they were going to have a big announcement coming up, and some changes coming. And this week we found out what that is, and that is that Playtonic is becoming a publisher.
Oh.
So this is the studio behind Yooka-Laylee. I think there are 2 games that they've done for that. One is the 3D platformer, one's a 2D platformer. But this week they announced a new publishing label, and it is called Platonic Friends. And 3 studios have signed up for, uh, signed up, signed agreements with them to publish their games. And let me see, I have that news story. It was All Interactive, which they did the development for BPM, Bullets Per Minute, which is a rhythm style roguelike game.
Okay.
The studio that developed Slime Song, which I recognize the title, I don't immediately recognize, can't picture the game.
Never heard of that one.
And then the developer of OK Golf.
Okay.
So they haven't announced any games from those studios yet, just that those studios have signed agreements for Platonic to publish their next projects. So they're not the first developer to do something like this. Like Yacht Club recently has, started publishing games from other studios. They are the publishers for Cyber Shadow, actually. So,
yeah, they are.
they're not the developers; they're just the publishers. Though they did assist with some development work if needed, but they were primarily the publishers on the game. And Cyber Shadow is the first in some publishing agreements that they have done as well. So it'll be interesting to see. Like, I don't think Yooka-Laylee was as well loved as they had maybe hoped. With coming off the power of the Banjo-Kazooie name.
Yeah, nostalgia factor was a little too strong on that one.
Yeah, and I've only played a little bit of both of those games. They weren't games that I was like, you know what, I need to finish these games. But I have played them. So
at least it wasn't Banjo Nuts and Bolts, because that would have just been bad.
And Platonic has said they're not done with Yooka-Laylee. They do have some games that at least feature the characters, if nothing else, but they have not announced what those games are.
Cool.
So we could see more Yooka-Laylee in the future. Crash Bandicoot.
Smash.
I doubt we'll see Yooka-Laylee as unlockables in Smash. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. There are unannounced characters coming to Smash. But if I had to guess, I think it's safe to say not Banjo and Kazooie. They're already in the game.
Yooka-Laylee. There you go.
Yooka-Laylee are not going to be in the game. One character that people are still holding out hope for, though, could come to Smash, is Crash.
Or Waluigi.
My prediction is that the last character that they announced for the Fighter Pass will be Waluigi. I think it's the one thing they're going to listen to the fans on, and they're going to be like, okay, we're going to make Waluigi a playable fighter, finally. But no, Crash Bandicoot. And this week, Activision announced that Crash Bandicoot 4 will be coming to more systems. They announced the games will be coming to the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, and I'm assuming Series S as well, and the Switch.
Nice.
So,
perfect.
The Switch was one of those weird omissions from the initial release of the game. I think a lot of people were confused. I figured it would be something like this, like it would come to the 360. The 360 has been gone for a while. The Xbox One and the PS4. I figured it would go there first, and then it would come to Switch later, and that's exactly what's happened. We also have some good news on the pricing as well. If you're a Switch owner, the game will be $60 on PS5 and Series X, and it will come to the Switch for $40.
Nice.
Okay. I get it.
Instead of the Switch being the more expensive console, like it sometimes is, or most of the time is, it'll be the cheapest console to get it on. I think it's $40 on the PS4 and the Xbox One as well.
Okay.
There was some side by side images people were showing off for that, with the Series X and the Switch version side by side, and you could see there was some difference, but not a whole lot. So I'm guessing one's like a 720p versus a 4K version. So that's
Well,
why I'm
it
assuming it's a
also
difference there and such.
it also looks like they have actually gone in and reworked both some of the level visuals and the graphical stuff for the characters on the Switch as well. It's not just like a
Yeah,
downgrade in the resolution.
Yeah, I didn't want to bore everyone with details.
Yeah, it does look like they've
Which is
actually
what
gone in.
exactly what I was doing, was boring people with details.
So it does look like they've gone in and sort of made a slightly customized version for the Switch. So it'll be interesting to see how it runs on there. Like I played the Crash Bandicoot trilogy on the Switch. I think it runs really nicely. I don't see anything in Crash 4 that would be one of those that's like super taxing on the system. If it can run the trilogy, it should be able to run Crash 4. So, I don't know. We'll see. It comes out on March 5th. I don't know if I had mentioned that yet. So, less than a month away from the release of Crash 4 on next-gen systems.
Cool.
And then lastly, I know a game you have played a bunch, Ethan. I'm not sure, Cole, if you have played a lot of Stardew Valley. It got an update recently on PC that allowed people to play the game together on the same computer, and that update has now rolled out to consoles. It began with the Switch, and it should, if it's not available now on the PlayStation and the Xbox, it will be very soon. But it does now have 4-player split screen on one system.
4-player split screen, one system. That's nuts.
So
It's the computer.
yeah, even on the computer, you could play split screen multiplayer, Stardew Valley.
You get WASD, I get OKL, semicolon, numpad, and I guess you can hook the Kinect up to it.
I think you have to just hook up multiple controllers to your computer.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, so Stardew Valley local co-op. I have played a little bit of Stardew Valley. I've not played a ton, but I know Ethan, you've put a bunch of time.
I think Jason and I are on year 3 on there or something. It's been a while since we last played.
So, well, now if you're ever in the same room, you can play together on the same system.
True.
But there you go. That, though, is it for the news, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about.
ESA Marathon is happening right now. It's their ESA Winter Marathon. There we go. It is essentially games done quick, but it's European speedrun assembly. And today is like their first official day as of this recording, even though they started yesterday with a 20-hour run of Skies of Arcadia. Or Skies of Arcadia Legends or something. I don't know. And this is for the Alzheimer's Foundation or something over there. And this goes on for like another 8 days instead of just a whole week. So it's a good way to get like a little more to get a GDQ fix without having to watch GDQ, I guess.
Yeah, it's like an extra GDQ because it hasn't been that long since GDQ.
Yeah, it's been about a month. So and this, like I said, this is European, so you get a whole different set of runners that you don't normally see with GDQ stuff.
So, yeah, I know you've already mentioned a couple of runs that you think I should watch.
Oh yes, that Mega Man Wily's Wars is definitely worth watching.
So yeah, I will definitely be going back and catching some of the on-demand streams.
Yeah, as soon as I find that, I'll send you a link to that. Right now, they're running Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker on Xbox One.
Well, all right. I guess that will be it for the show. So thank you, Cole, for being here.
And happy Valentine's Day, Cortana.
And Alexa and Siri. And
Aw.
nope, I'm not talking to you right now, Alexa. Go away. Stop. Okay, there we go.
It's like that. She's like that one pet. You say the name, and it just runs over to you. It's like, what? You got food? What's going on? Like,
Exactly. Are you talking to me? You can't be talking to me. And then thank you very much, Ethan, for being here as well.
See you all next week.
It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun.
If you want to reach out to us, we have new ways to do so. You can email us at procedurallygeneratedent@gmail.com. If you like what we do, you can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/pgent. Patreon supporters get the video version of the podcast a day early. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/progenint. Check out our YouTube channel, and we still have that famous Facebook group where you can interact with us on a daily basis as well.